Well, good morning. Trucker Todd here, and time for another late video. That's right, it didn't make it out at 9 o'clock this morning, but we've still got a lot of ground to cover. So before we do, you guys give this video a thumbs up, share it on your social media platforms. Look down in the description below for a lot of other great information. You do that by clicking on the title, and then it'll drop down. You can read a lot of great information about how you can reach me on Instagram, Facebook. You can send me an email. It's got information about how to reach Michelle about job opportunities and things like that. So you'll want to check that out. Also, I feel it important to mention, right now they are receiving an extremely high call volume. And so for that reason, if you call Michelle and she doesn't answer, please be patient. Leave her a voicemail. If you don't hear from her in a day or two, call her back. You know, I remember in '98, Walmart had a 5-year waiting list to get on there as a driver, because that was the place to work back then. Now you can get on pretty quick. And the same thing's happening here. Maybe not 5 years yet, but for a while you could get on at Swift pretty quick and easy. Now, due to the sheer volume of calls they're getting, it can take a week or two to go through the entire process. So I would just encourage you to be patient with them. If you can't get a hold of somebody, shoot me an email and I'll try to help you out as best as I can. Sometimes I have a little bit better success getting a hold of them, and I'll sure give it the old college try. But that's not what today's video is about. Today we're going to talk about the Top Gun program at Swift Transportation. So, as you guys know, Swift, since I started doing videos about them, a lot of people that are new to trucking, that are wanting to go to truck driving school, have started messaging me, asking me questions. And so somebody asked me about the Top Gun program. Actually, a few people did. And I told them point blank, honestly, I don't know anything about it. However, when I was in Greer for a week, I got a chance to sit down with one of the Top Gun instructors and kind of pick his brain a little bit and find out what it's all about. So in this video, I'm going to tell you what I thought about it, what it is, the details I know. Now, I'm going to tell you straight up, I still don't have all the answers, because after I left there, I thought of more questions that I would like to know the answers to. So I'm going to try to get by Greer or one of the other terminals that has this Top Gun program, and hopefully I can sit down with them again and get you some additional information. But for now, I think I've rambled long enough. Let's cue up the music and jump into today's topic. Here we go.
And this is why I do this, why I'm out here, why I keep that hammer down, flying by these road signs with home on my mind, with these wheels turning round, for my family and for my kids, for this life I wanna live. And this is why I do this.
Alrighty, we're back, so we're not going to waste any time. Let's jump in. The Top Gun program. What is it? Well, I want you to think of the really great movie that just came out a couple of months ago, maybe, with Tom Cruise, that Top Gun movie. Which, by the way, if you hadn't seen it, is outstanding. Definitely worth the 36-year wait. But basically what the Air Force does is, in their pilot school, they select the best of the best, and they put them through Top Gun school. And there's basically the best pilots that we have. Well, basically the same thing happens here in the Top Gun program. They watch the school, and the best of the best students, the guys and gals, the folks that score the highest on the written test, on the the driving test, things like that, get offered this Top Gun program. And I think it's important that we talk about the advantages and disadvantages as best as they are. And so to the student, the advantage would be They're going to get a more personalized, individualized training. And there's only like 2 or 3 people in a class, so it's really hands-on, really intensive training. And if they complete it, and I say if, it's a tough program, if they complete it, they could potentially get out of training a couple of weeks early, a week or 2 early. Now, what do they do exactly? Well, we've all seen these trucking simulators, and the one I saw was about 8 years ago at Dart. It still had the manual transmission and all of that. This system, at over $200,000, almost $300,000 per unit, is more focused on the way things are now. They can set perimeters in there to where cars pull out in front of you, pedestrians run across the street out in front of you, debris in the road. It has different levels, and I want you to think of it like a flight simulator in a video game, or maybe even a driving game in a video game. It's not a replacement for in-cab training. I want to stress that. I know a lot of people were concerned about that, but what it is, and I'll give you an example. If you have to learn how to do a 90-degree blindside back or a 45-degree back, this gives you a chance to practice it on this machine, so that when you hop in the truck, it's something that maybe you've never done before, but you've got a mental picture of how to do it. Going around tight corners and stuff, it shows how the trailer tracks. So maybe if you've never driven a truck before or something like that, it gives you an opportunity to know before you get out there, okay, my trailer's going to track differently than my truck is. Now, the way I'd like you to think about this is, this Top Gun program is not the meal, it's the appetizer of your dinner. So you'll go to this Top Gun program, and then you'll get in the truck and get additional training, and you'll go out with the trainer and all of that. I would like to see a world where we could send everybody through both, and I realize that's not possible. It's cost prohibitive, but it really is a great program, and I think it helps a lot of people. If I had to ding it for something, and this is just my personal deal, the mirrors, when you look out the side screen at your mirrors, it was a little hard to judge the distance. One of the maneuvers he did, you had to go down this narrow like alleyway, and to me it looked like the mirrors were going to hit, and you actually had enough space if you looked at all the screens just correctly. I found that a little different, but I do see the value and benefit in this program, and I think it could help a lot of guys, especially guys like me. When I started, I had never rode in a truck but one time. I had a car that broke down between Snyder and Post, Texas, and a truck driver picked me up and took me into Post, and that was my only experience ever riding in a truck, being around a truck. I did have an uncle that was a truck driver, and he talked to me a little bit about it before I got started, but I'd never been inside a truck or anything like that. So for a guy like me, this program would have been great for, getting me prepared. Now, I grew up on a cotton farm, and so I had experience pulling trailers, and I drew from that a lot. And in some ways, backing a cotton trailer is actually harder than backing a semi-trailer because the front wheels pivot. But that's another story for another day. What I would say is I really like this program. I think it has a lot of potential. The guy told me it's currently at 16 Swift terminals, and they're wanting to roll it out to more and make the program a bigger program as time progresses. Obviously, I asked him about glitches in the system. He said if there's anything like that, that they're able to fix it remotely. They call the company that makes the machine, and they can remotely diagnose and fix the machine. But he said for the most part, it's been really reliable. I also talked to a couple of the students that was in there, and I think it's a great morale thing. It's a confidence thing because let's face it, like it or not, we live in a video game generation, and so it's a good way for a lot of people to learn before they get into a truck with a trainer. They're frustrated, they're nervous, they've had so much information packed in their head, And this just kind of gives them a mental picture of what to expect. And granted, I'll give you, it's not real world, but it is real valuable. And so that's my thoughts on the Top Gun program. If you guys have been through it and have an opinion about it, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if this is your first time hearing about it, what do you think about it? Could you see a world where this could be beneficial or where this could be problematic? Leave me a comment below. Tell me what you think. And we'll catch you on the next one. Y'all have a great Monday. Bye-bye.